Welcome to Bankable. I'm Doreen Abisundra, your host and a proponent of innovative technology and financing solutions for AI infrastructure, decarbonization, and energy security.
The central premise around our work is that if we invest in young people, in giving them the soft skills and the character, wherever they go in the community, the idea is if we build a young person from inside out, they can face the world and the challenges that are placed before them.
Today, we've got the Halogen team in, and we're going to start very quickly with introductions, starting with you, Ivy.
So hi everybody, my name is Ivy. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Halogen Singapore. We're a youth development charity based here.
Okay. Hi, my name is John. I'm the head of communications here at Halogen, and I lead brand and storytelling and all other creative work here.
Hi, I'm Evan. I'm currently a student studying sports and wellness at NYP, and I'm a Nifty alumni from 2021.
And for everyone else, what is NYP?
Nanyang Polytechnic.
Brilliant, thank you. So Ivy, fun fact of the day. What is your favorite hawker food from Singapore?
It's difficult to choose a food in a very foodie Singaporean setting, but I would say I'll go for something quick and efficient, chicken rice.
All right. And what about you, John?
I think my favorite hawker food would have to be prawn noodles. I love both the soup version and the Hokkien fried version.
Brilliant. And you, Evan?
I would say carrot cake. I love both black and white carrot cake.
Excellent. So that's a shout out. Oh, good point. Hokkien mee, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 points for that.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. So Ivy, tell us a little bit about what Halogen is, what is its mission and its ambition.
First of all, we are locally founded by 2 Singaporean youths 22 years ago. So we've been around for a while. Halogen has been started as a youth development charity with a non-profit mandate. Our mission and vision is really being able to invest in our future generation of young people. We want to make them future ready. We want them to be active contributors to the community, and a large part of our work revolves around bringing access to give youth access to programs that look at character, mindset, and soft skills development. The central premise around our work is that if we invest in young people, in giving them the soft skills and the character, wherever they go in the community, be it if they're playing a role in the corporate communications or corporate community, working on change-making initiatives, the idea is if we build a young person from inside out, they can face the world and the challenges that are placed before them. As part of a charitable mission, we also fundraise to bring programs to young people who do not have access to such platforms.
Brilliant, fantastic. And before we learn a little bit more about John and Evan, let's start with you, Ivy, in terms of your career history and what brought you to Halogen.
It was kind of an accidental entry. My first job was in the private sector working for an MNC, and I accidentally found that actually I could apply my skills in serving in a smaller outfit that challenges my skills to juggle everything. In a nutshell was I accidentally stumbled upon Halogen. I thought maybe it's a good idea to try something in a smaller outfit. Went into it, realized that it was a very humbling sector where we could really avail the work that we do to benefit society and invest in young people. So that caught my heart, and it's been 13 years since I've been here. And I see my role as a chief steward to try to get resources and make sure that our engines can keep going. And that's how we can bring the work to impact more young people around us.
Absolutely incredible. John, tell us a little bit about what you do at Halogen and what role you play with the people who come to Halogen and the team that works there.
Right. So as the head of communications, we predominantly are the voice and the how should I put it, the look and feel of Halogen. So we govern the voice, we govern how we appear in front of media like this, or in static collaterals like posters and stuff like that. So pretty much all that kind of stuff. Recently we try to branch out into doing a little bit more creative storytelling, trying to share our mission and vision through bite-sized content or long-form content in videos and stuff like that. So those are some of the new areas of work that we have tried to experiment. Of course, articles and stuff also is something that we churn out on quite a regular basis. So on the website, we actually have this little place called the repository, and that's like our resource center where all our very nicely written articles are all published there for everybody to have access to. Yeah.
Fantastic. And as much as I wanted to meet Ivy again and John for the first time, I think I'm most excited to meet you, Evan, because you're an alumni of something called the NIFTY program, right? So tell us maybe a little bit about the NIFTY program, what you did there, and what exactly has been the benefit of being in Halogen for you.
So actually, when I started the NIFTY program, it was actually a program offered to students from the lower academic stream. So at one time, I was actually suffering with my academics. So that's when I started I was forced to actually sign up for NIFTY. But actually, at the end of the day, I found it was quite worth it. So during the whole crawling through the whole process of NIFTY, it actually taught me to be resilient in the things that I do. And until I had this mindset where I was just lazy to go for NIFTY until I had my final presentation to only know that I actually won my school's business plan competition.
So you won the competition?
For my school.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay, in
So,
school.
I was out to go for the second round, which is called NIFTY Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge. That's where the top 3 from every school will come together and go and take part in the finals. So I remember after the finals, we were just hungry to learn more and more, and that mindset still stuck with me till today.
Fantastic. Maybe Ivy, you can tell us a little bit about what NIFTY is. What does it stand for in terms of the acronym and what the program is about?
Great. The Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, it's his full name. It's a long mouthful. That's why everybody calls NFTE NIFTY for short. NIFTY actually is a 38-year-old program that is based or originated from the US. And we've brought it into Singapore and ran that program for the last 10 years. In a nutshell, it takes students that are aged 15 to 17 through a 50-hour-long learning journey. They learn the basics of what entrepreneurs do. So through a lean canvas, through activities, through learning how to do like real world problem solving. The young people that we put through the program, they get to think of an idea. Like if tomorrow you were to become an entrepreneur, what would you like to start a business for? Is it a product? Is it a service? What is the thing that you're hoping to bring to the community? Through that, they learn the basic concepts. They apply it when we invite adult volunteers to go into the classrooms and spend time coaching them. And through the iterative fashion of learning, applying, as well as all that interaction with volunteers like yourself, Doreen, it really helps. Our goal is to help young people build an entrepreneurial mindset. So you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but wherever you go and facing the real world outside, being able to be resourceful, being able to solve problems, not taking no to a challenge as the only way to, and you get stopped within there, right? So what entrepreneurs do best is they don't take no for an answer. We're trying to create or recreate that experience through NIFTY, and the joy and the privilege sometimes we'll get to really see and journey with students like Evan, that after the program he still gets in touch with us, he gets involved, and we can see that as what's gratifying, I guess, is that they put in so much effort to try to do well in that competition. And through that, we hope that they take away that actually if they were to do uncomfortable things and take a step forward, there is so much more that's available out there for them to forge their own pathways.
Incredible. And Evan, tell us a little bit about what you came up with during your NIFTY program.
I came up with, for my business idea, I actually came up with a healthcare package. So where I make a wholesale, and that's where I start selling products that are related to the benefits of health, which is currently related to what I'm studying in sports and wellness.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the benefit of health?
Basically, it was helping elder people. They're able to get out of bed and start walking around, trying to do all the things that are fully recreational.
Right. Oh, incredible.
And we can share like what was the problem that you observed that you wanted to solve?
So actually the problem was many of the elderlies in Singapore were actually quite lethargic. So what we actually did was to actually like introduce health programs to the seniors, and even though it was not pursued, but it was still an idea that is still sticking with me today at the back of my mind. Yeah. So and also
kind of like to encourage them to have a active lifestyle and stuff like that.
yeah.
I think that's fundamental. I mean, it's not just Singapore, but globally.
Yeah.
We're starting to see an aging population.
That's right.
So this sort of ambition and mindset is definitely what we need. In particular, in a world where everything seems to be moving towards AI, the people who are doing human things, human touch things, it's going to be invaluable, isn't it?
Yes.
And John, tell us a little bit of an exciting project that you worked on with Halogen recently.
Here at Halogen, wow, there were many exciting projects. One of which was launching our own podcast. Yeah, I think that was one of the big ones that we actually did this year. Strangely enough, we actually did the groundwork for the podcast like way back in 2024, when we first ran a youth focus group discussion, getting folks like Evan to come back and like, you know, we just trial some themes that we had that might be of concern to youth of today. Yeah, so from there, then we try to formulate what the content could possibly be about. And so the first episode came out like recently, at the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we are very excited about that project. And
so maybe John, give us, if you want to plug your podcast, tell us how to look for the podcast and what's it called.
Thank you. So the podcast name officially it's called the Halo Podcast.
Halo, H-A-L-O.
H-A-L-O-P-O-D -cast. So Halo Pod is a throwback to our office space where we actually hold a lot of like events, meetings, small little gatherings within this little room that we have in the office. So yeah, we decided to name the podcast after that little place, and we also filmed the podcast in that place itself. Yeah, so our channel is youtube.com/HalogenSG Stories. SG Stories, yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And little plug, we actually involved two of our youths in part of the podcasting process as well. So they are the hosts. They're tagged with one of our extras, as well as myself. And so we are inviting the young people to join us in creating that conversation and that momentum for all the content and knowledge and conversations about what it means to be a good inner and outer.
And this is a perfect link to what I was going to ask you, Ivy. How many youth have come through the Nifty program, through Halogen as a whole, while you've been the CEO?
Well, Nifty is one of the many programs that we have. So on an annual basis, in the array of programs that we do offer to young people, I think we get to impact or journey alongside maybe 14 to 16,000 youth across an assortment of programs.
So all in Singapore, 14 to 16,000 Singaporean youth.
Yes, we do.
That's an incredible number.
Thanks to the community, because we do involve a lot of volunteers, both working adults as well as youth, like hopefully like alumni like Evan, who can come back and contribute also as seniors or as coaches or mentors for the students. But yes, 14 to 16,000 a year for the Nifty program, because it's a longer term program. The whole course of that engagement is about a whole year. So we are curating a more smaller crowd. So each year we work with about 500 to 600 students in this year-long journey. It's a very big commitment for schools as well as the students. And so to date, with the last 10 years, we've worked with about 4,000 youth through the Nifty program.
That's incredible. And tell us a little bit about the volunteers, who they are and how you source your volunteers.
We always have this open door policy that everyone is welcome, and we kind of take the approach that regardless of what background you are here for, you've come from, our job is to kind of match you into areas that will be best suited for you to give. So the largest volume that we get is working adults. So these are people who work in the MNC, in a bank locally in Singapore, we invite them to come on board as an individual, come on board as a company, and we will take you through an orientation process where we could bring you to classes. A large favorite is volunteering at Nifty program. So Evan has gotten exposed to working with different business coaches in the
many
year.
of them. Also open to many different opinions.
Right.
And at the same time, we also do recruit youth volunteers like Evan, like sometimes across school year or in between their school holidays, they actually come back to train up to be facilitators, and they also join us in the classroom engagement. So all are welcome as long as you have an interest to journey with a young person and have time that you can spend with us. Yeah, we're open to everybody's.
Brilliant. And I remember that it wasn't a case that if you volunteered, you had to stick to and commit to many, many weeks. You could come ad hoc, isn't it?
Yeah, it's we are trying to be entrepreneurial to make sure we can fit everyone's schedule. So like Evan has been with us during his holiday periods. He engages in like some of our youth focus groups or coming back as an alumni for alumni programs. So it's really flexible, and we invite everybody to just take initiation, come on board and be part of that community. There might be a time where you're more suited for you have more time to give on the ground. If you can also be a champion of our work back end and support us watching our podcasts, staying in tune with our videos, that's great as well.
And Evan, maybe tell us a little bit about some of the volunteers that worked with you. Can you give me an example of a job that they may have been coming from, or maybe a nationality if they weren't Singaporean?
Actually, I met a few volunteers. At a point of time, I was doing Nifty, it was actually during COVID. So when we actually interacted with the volunteers, it was actually through Zoom. So I remember the first time I ever interacted with a volunteer. He was from Korea. So it's like actually at a point of time, it was very interesting to talk to other people. I was more amazed about that the person I'm talking to is based in Korea. Or that I'm more amazed at my own business slides. Yeah, so because actually it was like during COVID at a point of time, so it was nice to talk to somebody that was overseas. Yeah. So subsequently, we also meet many volunteers from the MNCs. Like I met DBS, we also met with them, and also the volunteers actually taught me that we're always bound for like bigger things. So I remember when they told me, one of the volunteers actually told me that because our presentation was like 6 minutes at one time, so they actually told me that in the time to come you'll be presenting for 5 minutes, and then at one time I felt like presenting for 6 minutes is really too long. Yeah. So then now that I'm experiencing it, I'm now more used to presenting things for like 10 minutes and above.
Absolutely. And how brilliant you've been on this podcast for so long and presenting so clearly and confidently as well. So maybe all three of you, starting with Ivy, what about Halogen is making the students and the youth so-called bankable, for the workforce?
I see it, and when I say bankable, I interpret it as more like the relevance and being able to contribute meaningfully. I think I take advantage from where our mission comes by. We personally, I think that the scene and the sector out there is very vibrant, but sometimes it's really overwhelming for a young person to navigate all these things, right? We're all as adults grappling with future of work, and then young people are not removed from these conversations. They are also experiencing that. So for me, the bankable bit is always on focusing on character and identity, because I think when the young person grows through different trials to learn to be uncomfortable and learn more about themselves, that's where it gives them the anchor to hold steady when they face life choices. And I choose to think that employers and businesses want people like that, with that personal clarity. So to me, the benefit of involving our youth in our programs is that building that aspect to allow them to be bankable and attractive to hirers and companies. Yeah.
Brilliant. And John, what's your view?
I think being part of the Nifty program, like being down as like a mock judge, or even just looking through the students' slides and business ideas. I think it's very interesting that every year they come up with more and more innovative ideas and very relevant to today's society. They're talking a lot about sustainability issues, or they're talking a lot about social issues. These are things that are genuinely of concern to them, and they're trying to build their business idea around things like that. Even in the way they are thinking about revenue and generating income, they are not thinking about traditional brick and mortar kind of stores. I'm buying something, here's my profit, and they're thinking more like subscription models. They're thinking more like online businesses and things like that. So their ideas are very bankable, so to speak. You know, they are leveraging on what is current, what is relevant to today's society, and they're just going for it. And then I think our job here at Halogen is really to just like guide them along the way, you know, like just help them like either articulate their points better, or just provide our real world experiences to make maybe some of the ideas a little bit more feasible, more realistic, so to speak, you know, just little nudges like that, just to steer them into the right path, maybe, I hope. Yeah, so that's something that I truly enjoy when I was down for the Nifty programs.
Absolutely inspiring. And Evan, if you look back on this Evan on the very first day of joining the Halogen and Nifty program to the Evan that's sitting here today, how much have you changed, and how much do you feel confident about going into society?
I'll say that I felt very more like open-minded. At a point of time when I started Nifty, I didn't know what was it really about. So I thought it's just an extracurricular program that we just attend, and then at the end of the year we just finish it with nothing. But I think after talking to volunteers and all that, actually made me more open-minded and made me feel very confident to speak to other people. Yeah.
Incredible. So you're an example of a bankable Singapore youth, and we're sitting here at the Marina Bay Sands Expo stand, isn't it? And we've got the entire CBD behind us. We've got the entire island here. So, you know, there's someone that you can contribute to, and much more society, presumably, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope so. But I feel that there's still more room for myself.
Got it. Fantastic. That's such an encouraging revolution.
I love that,
it?
right? Like
Yes.
one of the things that I think I constantly humbled by is that sometimes, well, we have this internal saying, sometimes we're getting the youth to do things that we ourselves as 15 to 16 didn't experience and didn't do. And we love how while they struggle to take the extra step to learn to embrace the uncomfortable and do new things. Some of them are really stressed out when they have to present. But I feel like that's the part that's really humbling to see that if all young people can do that too, maybe we adults ought to step up a little bit and learn to embrace our our uncomfortable zones as well.
So true. I mean, we're learning from each other, isn't it? Just even in this conversation, I feel kind of buoyed by your enthusiasm, by the amount of difference that you've made. So if there's one last thing you want to say to people who are thinking about Halogen, either as joining or contributing to it, what would you want to say? And I'm going to start with you, Evan, and then move this way. So Ivy, you get the last word.
I believe come in open-minded, ready with the readiness to learn. Yeah, because I mean at the end of the day, it's all about the end point, and how you start also matters. So I think open-minded is a very big quality that we need to have.
Being open-minded, and that's one of the things that helped you through the program. Fantastic.
So actually, I only developed the open-mindedness like only during the program and not before.
Right. Incredible. Thank you, John.
Yeah, so I think Halogen's tagline is inspiring young people to create change, right? But I think often for us also, the young people sometimes do inspire change within us, and we are very inspired by their stories as well. So I think the general message to everyone is that we are very open to collaborating, co-creating, whether through partnerships or through volunteering. Come and come and see and experience the good work that we do. It might be something that you might fancy as well. And if you want to invest in the future, then why don't invest in our young people?
Brilliant. And Ivy, kind of the last word on it, but perhaps also talk about, you mentioned briefly about financing. You do need investment. Tell us a little bit about that financing need.
Yeah. Maybe I'll first speak on the fact that I think in our interactions with all our partners in the last, at least I've been here for 13 years, I've never met partners who don't have the same, everyone I've met has a heart for young people. Because we are realistically aware, like if you have a nephew, you have a niece, or you see the young people in the communities around us, we know how important it is. And first in the encouragement and in calling out to the community, don't wait and don't always think that being involved means you have to do something really big. You have to start another charity. Sometimes it's just being involved. You could volunteer, you could donate. Most charities like ourselves, year to year, we have to focus on finding our own finances. With the Nifty program, we don't want to impose or charge the schools for the program because the schools and students will not have resources to access that. So we actually reach out to people to fund the program, and then we keep them involved by telling them or sharing with them the stories that we've been able to catalyze. So in big ways and in small ways, if you're invested and you believe that it's important to sow something into the next generation, just step forward, do something small does work. And even if it's just turning around to the next person, and say like, would you like to be involved in one way, or just click follow and follow our channels and stay tuned to what we're doing. That's great, but just don't wait because we don't really always have the luxury of time when we're talking about investing in our futures. And I think that's sobering, acute, but also something that should be a wake-up call for all of us that are part of this whole global world and community.
Okay, fantastic. I guess now, have I missed anything? Do you want to say something that I may have missed and thought about?
Find us on www.halogen, HALOGEN.
Brilliant.
.sg.
Good one. The communications chap.
We are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook. All you gotta do is just search it /HalogenSG, and we are there. Subscribe to our newsletters. We won't bombard you with like weekly EDMs. We only send one out a month. Then we are very, very kind to everybody. So please subscribe, like, and follow. Thank you.
Brilliant. Evan, you actually have the last word. Yes.
Okay. Show our support and give back to the people who want to invest in youth like me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Evan, John, and Ivy.
It's a wrap.
Fantastic. It is a wrap indeed. Thank you for listening to Bankable. For early access to energy transition pioneers and to learn how to structure the investment solutions described in this episode and throughout the series, subscribe to the podcast and get in contact at frescocleantech.solutions.